here is, and this is one of the things. The obviously the Colin Kaepernick, who I mean, I've seen images now of like high school sports teams. There was like a NBA teams. There was a band. WNBA. There was a band that was playing at like I don't know, some event in Oakland. Maybe it was like playing for a football team, or I can't remember who kneeled during the. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary, and there was a poll that was taken that Colin Kaepernick is the least popular football player in the NFL. I think all of the assessments that like this is problematic, his message is not getting out there, miss the point that when you are promoting a political message like that, the vast majority of Americans, A, don't need to hear it, B, it's irrelevant how they respond to it. Real changes are brought about because there is a small subset of the American public that becomes so engaged that they force change. That was 3 million. What is that? 1% of the American population commented on net neutrality. Now, granted, there was a lot of industries and whatnot that I should say businesses, but well, I don't know. Look at the polling of Martin Luther King. I'm not saying that Colin Kaepernick is Martin Luther King, but I'm just saying look at the.
Watch yourself.
Martin Luther King. I'm sure the polling through from the 50s and the 60s was completely in disfavor of King. But here is Kaepernick's coach in doing a very bizarre press conference regarding Kaepernick. I mean, I think he probably just doesn't know what he's, don't know. He's not quite
it's the columnist more than the coach.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
Check this out.
All right, listen.
How do you feel when he takes over the locker room and he talks about his concerns, which are valid and important? I think specifically about after the Rams win, when you beat the Rams, and he was talking about injustice in America, and I believe some of the players were uncomfortable with that. How do you feel when he takes over the room?
Well, I don't think Colin takes over any room. I think.
He did after the Rams game.
Well, I can give you my opinion of what I think. I think he's asked questions about a subject and he's answering those questions.
Should turn down. He should say, "Talk to me at another time." I was in the room. Were you in the room at that time?
Yeah, I walked by the locker room.
Yeah. Anyway, so we disagree on if he took over the room. Do you think it's appropriate that he should be talking about those things after a win?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
When he's asked a question, I think you should answer what his feelings are on those questions. If you don't believe that's the thing, then maybe you shouldn't ask him those questions.
I didn't ask him those questions.
Okay.
But we have a fundamental disagreement then.
Great thing about this country, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Who is that reporter?
That was
from the
Lowell
Sonoma.
Cone from the Press Democrat, which is the Sonoma County, Napa County, and Wine County News.
I'm also a psychic, so I know exactly what's happening in the locker room.
It did sound like you were asking the question.
I know, doing my Jewy voice. It was great. Oh, well, okay, Coach.
I
you
really
know
feel
the
like
team.
it's-
You coach it, but let's war game this out a little bit.
I can tell you-
I heard that it was very bad, and he took it over, so there you go.
My readers from the Napa County and Wine Country News are very upset to hear about how much Colin Kaepernick is throwing himself around in the locker room.
I also thought it was very rude that he didn't leave extra hand towels on the sink for his teammates. Did you know about that? Oh, no, I didn't know about that. Well, I saw it with my mind's eye. Let's just war game this out a little
Don't you think he's spending too much time in the shower? He's using up all the hot water. The
It's
rest of the
very
players come in
selfish.
there. They don't get any time with the hot water. You don't think that's a problem? Well, we have a little disagreement then.
It's so ironic because it's the black people are treated so badly and injustice and this and that. But meanwhile, he leaves no hot water for his teammates.
I also notice he leaves all his toothpaste and all his utensil things wherever he wants. He doesn't seem to care that, like, oh, he's taking up more than half the space on the shelf. It's very rude.
The other disturbing thing to war game out of this is he just stalking Colin Kaepernick? Like, it just starts to like, were you disturbed that Colin was having a late night meal before a game 3 weeks ago in Seattle? I saw him. I was across the street.
Coach, I don't know if you've seen what happens when this man parks. But he's always parking on the wrong. He's like taking up 2 spaces.
And believe me, he thinks he can parallel park, but I guess he also thinks he's a political activist.
He feels like he could take up 2 spaces, and it's not like he's doing this by mistake. I've watched him do it multiple times. He parks his car on an angle as if, like, I can't afford anybody hitting my car with their door. I just think it's rude. But if we have a disagreement about that, fine.
Oh, okay.
You've
Seen him park, and you know his showering schedule, and you know where he eats. Okay. You know more than me. I'm not the one. I guess you're stalking Colin Kaepernick as well.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I saw him get a lamb chop and order a Cabernet, and I was just completely offended. Everyone in the Napa Valley News County paper. We're just like, what is his choices? Like, he's completely I've seen this man take a wine flight with just like the absolutely wrong price-fix meal.
Price-fix. You don't know about this, Coach? We are so addicted to doing this voice that we've completely ran actually a fairly funny segment entirely off of the rails. Too bad for members, they'll hear the whole thing, but on YouTube, all of this will be clipped.
Hey, folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please, enjoy this channel. Subscribe. Right down there.